What's up, everyone? This is Professor O from Chart Addicts. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Today, I just wanted to go ahead and recap all the videos we sent and all the signals we sent in our Telegram chat because we had an amazing week. We had, I believe, over 1,000 pips called, and I'm just going to go ahead and review the setups. And we will post this video on our YouTube channel, and we will follow up with another one to capitalize on the opportunities to come. So let's just go ahead and start with our first setup that we called out, and that was AUDCAD. So essentially what we were looking for was, awesome. So we had this 1-2 break, impulse move to the downside, retest on the other side of the trend line and confluence to the 0.95 psychological zone. And we had said it's gonna, we were looking to get 100 pips on it to write it down to 0.94 thousand. And right now it is up to 90 pips. And yeah, it was really simple. We waited for some candlestick rejection on a higher time frame to see when it was time to enter, and it was perfectly executed. Personally, I'm still in this trade. I secured partials, and I'm now letting the rest ride. We were 5 pips shy of our TP, but still not worried. Once we get to the 0.94 thousand psychological zone, we can see how price plays out to see what happens next. So Euro JPY, same thing. We're looking for this impulse move to the downside, retest in confluence with some support over here and resistance over here. It was looking a little bullish. We did have some indecision, a strong bullish candlestick, and we did have an indecision candlestick, and it did get engulfed, but the size of the candlesticks, these bearish candlesticks aren't really convincing to me. And it is up 60 pips. Again, we moved our stop loss to stop profit. But again, the reason I'm saying Euro is a little bullish is simply by just looking at Euro USD. When we called this setup, we were looking for a sell at these previous support zones. We had this impulsive move. We were looking for this retest. We had our Fibonacci actually down here to this swing, and we were looking to sell it over here at, I believe, the 50 fib. But if we moved our Fibonacci up a little higher to the second touch on this trend line, we can see we had 1, 2, and that third touch in confluence to the 71.61 fib, and we did have some rejection, and it dropped about 70 pips. But again, Euro is not looking isn't convincing because I'm seeing some engulfing over here on this last daily candlestick, some strong rejection, and then you can see it engulf the previous candlestick, and I'm seeing some potential support. Resistance to support. So again, we got in a little bit early on this setup. I believe about 40 pips early, but that's why, again, risk management is very important. You should always set your parameters before anything. Pound yen, I believe we call this on our members only chat. We did send a signal as well, but essentially what we were looking for, we had an impulsive move to the upside, and I personally got it on this retest. It did have some drawdown, but I saw this inverted head and shoulders, and you can see that pound did catch some strength. And the reason I got it on this trade is because simply by looking at the higher time frame, I saw that this market was ranging, and since it was ranging, I know that I can buy at these zones or get in at these well-respected zones. I saw the indecision on the daily, and then potential follow through. You can see how it closed above the previous candlestick, and you can see how these two candlesticks just closed perfectly right above the 144 psychological zone. So this is what the candlesticks were telling me. It had that impulsive move, that retest in confluence with this MA, and you can see it is currently up 200 pips. Same with pound USD. I did call this setup on Thursday, and when we first saw this, you had this break of this trend line, impulse move to the upside, retest, perfectly at that 1.3 thousand or 1.3 key psychological zone, and it shot up 70 pips. I had said get in, and it shot up again, total of 170 pips. USDCAD, or let's just go ahead and go down to GA since we're on the pounds, and the pound just caught some massive strength. Same thing here, impulsive move to the upside. And we also had said to sell here at the, I believe 1.84500 psychological zone. We sold for 100 pips, and we had said buy at the 1.83 thousand psychological, and it just shot up almost, I believe, 450 pips to the upside. 150 pips to the upside. So pound had some huge strength. We are at the top of this range. We can see how price plays out. Potentially catch some short-term sells, but regardless, you can see we caught this buy just by reading the candlesticks. Strong engulfing candlesticks to the upside, and you can see the size of the candlesticks weren't just convincing. So this was a really nice retest. You can see that they all closed in the same vicinity. You can see it right here. Change the color. So essentially, pound break retest, really simple trade idea. USDCAD, same thing, break retest of these well-respected resistance zone turned now into support. Okay, and it did shoot up about 90 pips, and then we did have some, I believe, some negative news on Friday. I believe NFP was released. It shot up 90 pips. We moved our stop loss to stop profit, ended up hitting our break even or stop profit. So we did walk away from money from the table. USDJPY, same thing, break retest. You can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4, broke the trend line and broke the zone. And we did have a nice pin bar candlestick in confluence with this indecision, and it dropped about, I believe, 75 pips to the downside. Pound AUD, we went over that. CAD JPY, I was looking for this buy. I did take the buy. It went up 50 pips, moved our stop loss to stop profit, and it ended up coming back and hitting that. Right now, it is ranging in this zone. We can see how price plays out. If it does end up breaking this this zone over here, we can potentially look for sells. But if it breaks above, we can continue to look for buys. So essentially, we were looking for that third touch on that trend line in confluence with that inverted head and shoulders. Right now, it is accumulating. The market needs to accumulate in order to make these moves. So we'll see how price plays out next week. This is something I would definitely keep my eye on. And also with USDCHF, you can see we had a strong impulsive move to the upside. And you can see the Fibonacci is the 38.2. And along with that, we can see we have some well-respected zones over here. We have 1, 2, 3 touches almost, if we just look to our left. And it is a key psychological zone as well. So definitely going to keep my eyes on this pair as well. So Euro NZD is something we called. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 touches of resistance, past resistance, turned to support. You can see we got some rejection, a strong pin bar candlestick on the daily time frame, and looks like an inverted head and shoulders on the 4-hour. We had an impulsive move to the upside, and I had said on our call on April 27th, if it breaks and closes above this zone, we could potentially see some new highs, and that happened perfectly. I believe we caught this 180 pips. It's currently floating, or I'm sorry, it made 180 pips, and it's right now at 100 pips. So I'm still in this trade, close secured partials, and I'm letting the rest ride. Same with AUD, NZD. I got in over here out of this pin bar as soon as I saw the pin bar. And again, just the size of these candlesticks were just so small. You can see we had the engulfing, and then it came back hitting our stop profit. I ended up re-entering. It is currently ranging, but on the daily time frame, I'm seeing this impulsive. So we broke this trend line. impulsive move to the upside. You can see it's now retesting the point, the 38.2, and you can see a bounce or break situation. So this is another setup I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes on next week, and I believe that's it. I believe that's all the pairs we called out. Just to recap, I believe AUD/CAD was 90 pips, Euro JPY 50, Euro USD ended up hitting our stop loss due to that euro strength. Pound yen, this is something we called in our members only chat. I believe we still sent a screenshot though. This went for 200 pips. Pound USD went up 170 pips. Pound AUD dropped down 100 and shot up 400 pips. Pound AUD. USDCAD 90 pips off that break and retest. USDJPY break retest for 75 pips to the downside. CAD JPY went up 50 pips, ended up hitting our stop profit. Euro NZD 180 pips. AUD NZD 50 pips, and then ended up coming back and hitting our stop profit. So again, we had an amazing week this week. We're definitely going to keep this momentum going. Look forward to posting more videos and recapping the market. Hopefully get that video by tomorrow, and I'm gonna definitely post these videos on our YouTube page. But again, if you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact us. We'll be happy to connect and just talk charts. This is what we love to do at Chart Addicts. Again, appreciate everyone hopping on this call. Hope everyone has an amazing day, and thank you.